New on Curiosity Stream. How do you connect a 16th century potato to limitless energy production? Could Napoleon's toothpick have a direct link to a machine that predicts the future? And how can a 1700s conch shell chart a course to humans connecting their brains to the internet? James Burke's visionary series Connections returns for a new generation. Experience all new Connections. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com. New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new Connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
The pop culture field, welcome everybody to the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast, sitting right at the intersection of weapons, action, the military, and pop culture. I'm your host. Cameron Fath, former Army Ranger. I don't say you first.
Okay, let's say me first.
I'm your host, Cameron Fath, former Army Ranger, and with me is, as always, that's usually the lead-in, yeah. Israel Wright, former Green Beret. It's good to be back with you, folks.
Yeah, right, that's how it goes every single time.
I usually say that, yeah.
I hope that doesn't sound like complete dog shit.
It's too late now.
It's too late. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to another edition of the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast. You already saw us screw it up in the beginning, so you know what you're doing. You're in your cars, you're ready for another...
You're totally confused.
You're ready for another kick-ass episode, and we're going to bring it to you.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Bring it to you hard and fast.
Hard-boiled,
I guess you could say, because the title of this episode is Eggs Benedict Arnold. That's right. We've transitioned, folks, just like everybody else in society. We're a cooking show now. No, we're not.
But today's episode, I guess, is that's a good egg-related thing, because honestly, I didn't know who Benedict Arnold was.
Really?
You had to explain it to me.
Oh, man.
But then I looked it up, and I was like, oh,
you need to read a book.
He's a freaking traitor!
He is a traitor. Yeah, today, folks, the episode's all about traitors, folks.
Yes.
It's betrayals, traitors, some of our favorite, or least favorite, I guess you could say, traitors in pop culture. And the reason we're starting out with Benedict Arnold is because his name is synonymous with betrayal and being a traitor. Because Benedict Arnold, he was a loyalist sympathizer in the American Revolution, right, in Philadelphia. He married into a loyalist family when he wed Peggy Shippen, this little mini biography. She was a close friend with British Major John Andre, and got in contact with him when he became head of the British espionage system in New York. Many historians see her as having facilitated Arnold's plans to switch sides. Benedict Arnold had this kind of ego complex, like he never thought, as I understand it, he never felt like he got the credit that he deserved, or the power that he deserved, the commands that he wanted from the American side. So that was part of the reason why he ended up working with the British. He opened secret negotiations with Andre, and she relayed messages. His wife did. She was a traitor as well. She was just a sympathizer.
Traitorous witch!
You think about back in the day, when the American Revolution happened, it's not like everybody in America was on board.
Yeah.
There were the loyalists and the revolutionaries and stuff.
What a Blue Falcon, dude. You want to talk about OG?
He's the original Blue Falcon.
For those of you that don't know, Blue Falcon is a military term and acronym, which means buddy fucker.
Yeah, it's when you screw your buddies over either by your action or inaction, either intentionally or unintentionally.
Yeah, it's not good to be called a Blue Falcon in any regards, and you want to avoid it at all costs.
He tried to give up, Benedict Arnold tried to give up West Point. There were secret plans that was revealed, but he ended up escaping. He went over to the British side, and he actually, by all accounts, had a distinguished record of service with the British Army. Like when he got buried, let me just collect my thoughts.
Collect your thoughts real quick. Slow it down.
I'm just really angry, okay?
Okay.
I just don't like Benedict Arnold.
Nope.
I'm getting emotional, okay? He had a distinguished career, but I heard towards the end of his life he actually kind of regretted betraying America, and he asked to be. I think he either asked to be buried in America or asked to be buried in American uniform, but the British denied him that after
Not
he died.
today, bro.
Yeah, he was buried in his traitorous British military uniform.
Yes.
I wonder if there's any like monuments to him out over there in
Probably
the UK.
not.
Like, look at the great Benedict Arnold. Yeah, because they're like, this guy's a traitor. I mean, like, thanks, but you're a traitor.
It'll be the only statue tear down I would support.
But also, he didn't actually like do the thing he was supposed to. Like, they didn't get West Point because of him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It never actually ended up working out. Yeah.
Thanks for the info, Magic Boys, Chris.
You're welcome. They also,
Chris,
you didn't mention it, but they were going to pay him £20,000, British pounds. And I did the calculation, meaning I typed it into the internet. But that's the equivalent of like £425,000 now. So it's not even really actually that much money.
not even all that much.
That's to betray your entire country. Like if he's living lavishly, maybe that'll last him.
That's like Judas level like payments. You know, like 30 pieces.
And Judas didn't get paid. That's the thing. He did.
Well, didn't he try to give it back, or
he got paid, but then he killed himself, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, he killed himself. Yeah, so what did it matter? Yeah, he killed himself. And then apparently he fell headlong, like he fell from the tree, and his stomach burst open. That's later on in Acts.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
He had it coming. But anyway,
literally, Chris. Literally.
But you guys get the point.
Oh, by the way, folks, just want you to know before we jump right in. After we jumped in, we're like in the shallow part of the pool right now, and we're gonna get into the deep end. Special announcement coming up. Just want to tease you a little bit.
Yeah, July 4th.
Please you.
July 4th, we have a big announcement to make. We're not gonna obviously tell you what it is, because that's
that
would
would
defeat the
ruin
purpose of a teaser.
So on America's birthday,
we have some big, fun firework of an announcement.
Yeah.
Because it's 4th of July. But
so
before
Cameron,
we also dive in, we want to let you guys know that obviously
going nowhere.
We have to start plugging this stuff at the beginning because that's the plan. That is the plan. We stick to the plan. We release a new podcast every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe to the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you tune in for podcasts. Also, check out our YouTube channel so you can see the visual.
Yeah, we're pretty handsome, folks.
Israel is so handsome. And the announcement is not a PCFM calendar for all our females.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because
for our three female
audience members, because we run the demographics and there's no women that
Let's face it, folks. If we were all in a room, it would be a pretty big sausage.
Yeah, it would be a huge sausage.
Hey, not that guys.
No problem with that. I love hanging out with dudes.
Yeah, I love hanging out with dudes. Dudes are great.
Yeah, dudes are awesome. So that YouTube is released every Friday, so keep an eye out for that. It has extra bits that don't make it on the edited version that you're listening to, so there's some motivation to go check it out. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe while you're checking those out. And if you want to say hello or send us some love, follow us on Instagram at PCFM Podcasts or write us an email at PCFMPodcast@gmail.com. You guys send us so many emails and they're all great. If we don't respond to them, let me tell you, we have read it and we're just super behind on shit. So we have read your email, and if you're thinking, oh, Cam and Izzy, they're ignoring me. We're not ignoring you like that hard because we read it.
There's a difference between ignoring you and just not noticing that you're there.
Yes, totally. So, we're backlogged. We will be responding. But yeah, keep sending us emails. We love interacting with y'all. You're the best community.
You guys are.
You guys are awesome.
This is an awesome journey to be on with all of you.
Exactly. And then, Izzy, you Twitch,
folks, I do some Twitch streaming, folks, 3 days a week. You can find me on twitch.tv/myhappyself. Also on Instagram, myhappyself. The number 2, my happy self 2. Come hang out. I get a lot of great correspondence from people out there as well. And it's fun to interact. And we place a premium, I feel like, on interacting with people. So if you're into it, and we get a lot of great emails and stuff, please do so.
Absolutely. And
Cameron.
And for Kick God Apparel, we're about to start shipping out our brand new drops of the Money Battalion tees that everybody's been asking.
Yeah.
They will be back. And they will be accompanied by the other battalion tees. So we have the Angry Face tee, the Angry Bat tee, and then we have the Lucky Bat tee. So if you're into that, check it out. Lucky Bat.
Lucky Bat seems pretty cool.
But yeah, check it out on the website, www.kickgodapparel.com, or on Instagram at kickgodapparel.com. So,
and if you want to support us, last thing, I swear, folks, this is the last thing, probably not. 20 minutes later. You can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/PCFM PCFM Podcast.
Yeah, if you guys want to make a donation to the channel, it funds all the equipment we're buying. It funds Amy because she's awesome.
Yep, we bought a new hard drive today. Thank you guys.
Because
that's
you,
legit.
so
you guys are funding the show.
Yeah, you guys are making it awesome, and you give us motivation to do it week after week. And then this podcast is sponsored by no one. So if you're interested
I don't even care.
in sponsoring this podcast, shoot us an email because that would be awesome.
Or don't.
Or
Screw
don't.
you.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll move on.
But please give us free stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now we're ready to get into the episode. Sorry about that. We have to do it.
Cameron, give me your first one. Who's the
First
traitor?
one. What's this episode about? Sorry.
It's like when you go to the movies and there's 20 minutes of trailers and you forget the movie you came to see.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll just start. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a great one, too. I don't know. There's a lot of really good traitors, and that's kind of like a play on word because traitors aren't good at all.
Yeah.
Depending who you're depending who you're betraying.
Some terrific examples of traitors.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'll bring up, one that I know that is pretty big, and I know we've talked about this on episodes previously, but 300. King Leonidas.
Oh.
And that deformed
little
gimp of a man.
Yep, the little short man, little gimpy humpback dude.
He would be the modern day version of the guy that failed MEPS because his feet are flat, and then he shoots up a military base.
Yeah,
because he's so salty. No, that dude sucks, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had lineage to the Spartans.
Ephialtes.
Yeah,
Ephialtes. Yeah.
And then he went for the Persians and showed him that back road.
Yeah, they were all showing him real life porn and being like, oh, you get piercings and
piercing nipples. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's what I want.
He's like, yeah, totally. I don't want to be an honourable Spartan, even though he couldn't because Leonidas was which honestly I respect the hustle, man. His thrust was a clean thrust.
That was a clean thrust.
But he just,
He couldn't take care of the man to his left and his right.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even in modern day military, it's obviously we have PT standards in place, and you have standards in the military that are totally in place, not because the military is selfish.
Not for your ego.
Not for your ego, man.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's making sure everybody can come home. So you need to be able to work with the man to the left and right, like as he said. So, obviously, he was super salty about that and just led to the ultimate demise of what happened to that guy. Did he just stay with Persia?
I'm sure he lived an okay life in the Persian Empire. It's not like the Persian Empire collapsed the next day. He probably lived out his years in luxury, thankful to be, alive and, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully ashamed, maybe. Hopefully ashamed for those.
I don't think so.
You don't think he pulled a Benedict Arnold?
Total Benedict Arnold, dude. That guy sucks!
You regret it.
And he's ugly.
And he's ugly.
Boo that man. Boo that man. But yeah, man, I just want to start out with that because that's
that's a good one.
When I hear traitor, that's the first one that comes to my mind.
That's good because it's close to your heart. I like it.
It is because I would freak out. Plus, I love that movie. Obviously, the Spartans weren't there's hidden things, and if you start bringing up history,
no society is perfect.
No society is perfect, and I'm sure there's someone listening to this podcast right now screaming, saying, "The Spartans did this, and the Spartans did this." No, the Greek these
they oppressed somebody. Yeah. Somebody was oppressed by the Spartans.
No, these dudes were the real warriors. But I like what their logo stands for. Just being the fucking total alpha and just getting jacked.
Yeah, I think they actually ended up. I think, if I recall correctly, I don't know much about and the history of the Spartan, people, and it could just be hearsay. But I think it was part of their exclusivity was part of their downfall, because you couldn't become a Spartan, it was super hard because they were so insulated.
Yeah, wasn't it you needed to be a pure blood Spartan?
Well, yeah, and then there wasn't the whole immigration thing. You couldn't just move to Sparta and become a Spartan. It was So
it's the complete opposite of the French Foreign Legion. We're just come fight for us. We'll give you citizenship.
Exactly.
It was you must be born a pure Spartan.
Yeah. So you guys can anybody history buffs, you guys can correct us or correct me if I'm wrong.
Or just literally school us up.
Yeah, send us a link about the Spartans. I'd love one of the
it has to be Wikipedia though.
Yeah,
I will only read
Wikipedia because they're 100%
from Wikipedia.
Truthful Wikipedia.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, listen, man. I'm just gonna get this over with. I'm just gonna pull the Band-Aid off. I'm gonna give you one guess as to which traitor I'm gonna talk about first.
Is it on this list?
It's on this list.
I'm gonna take a. I saw.
You just take a gander. Carter J. You sent them out there and you didn't even warn them. Why didn't you warn them?
Was this the officer guy?
No, this is the company guy in Aliens. Carter Burke.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like, he knew that everyone died, and he's like, we need to send you out.
Yeah, he's actually the one in the extended cut. There's a scene where it's like they got a transmission. It's like some guy in a cushy office, 1,000 light years away, tells me to check out a Griffin's. I don't ask why, because it takes 2 weeks to get an answer out here, and the answer is always don't ask, So Carter Burke actually sent
That's
that.
a good line. That's a good line, dude.
And it's funny because that scene got cut, and the same dialogue is in Terminator 2. So it's like if you don't get a good line in a movie, you just save it for the next movie.
Yeah.
But so Carter Burke, you find out, was the one. He knew where Ripley was, based on her story. And he told Newt's family to go check it out, and her dad was the first one to get a face hugger. So he killed them all, and he didn't even warn them.
Is this the guy at the beginning of Aliens who's like finds Ripley and is like, I want you to go back? Is that guy?
It's the lawyer guy.
Yeah.
He's like, we can go in with they're tough hombres. He's like, I can't go. He's like, yeah, I know. You wake up every night, your seats are soaked, And so, he gets her to go, but then it's all his fault, So,
oh, man.
So, Carter Burke, man.
Carter Burke.
Yeah. I got to put that in there. So
I'm sure, it's Alien, so yeah.
He's such a good, and then he gets,
Anthem Blue Cross and Common Threads are helping schools across the country learn about healthier food preparation. And here in LA, they're joined by the Sparks and will provide education, recipes, and knowledge to students and families about healthier options. Learn more at anthem.com/ca/sparks. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Taken out, but there's actually a deleted scene, you can find it on YouTube, that they cut out of both versions of the film, where when she's looking for Newt at the end of the movie, she comes across Burke. And he's cocooned, and he's like already got an alien inside him. And he's like, "Please kill me, please!" And like she can't do him. I think she might have given him like a gun or something like that because she can't shoot him. And he's like, she just leaves him there to die and thinking his chest burster. So Carter Burke.
As I was going down this list, since you had to mention something from Aliens, I might as well list something from my playbook here.
Go for it.
Grima Wormtongue from the Two Towers.
Wormtongue, baby. Yes.
Grima Wormtongue, man. That dude, he's a traitor.
He is a total traitor, man.
Total traitor.
Here's the thing. Can I ask, I don't know what our rules are for, being a traitor. does it have to be revealed that you're a traitor? In the story, do we have to think the characters are good and then they turn bad? Or is it, because, almost from the very beginning, you see Grima Wormtongue, you're like, oh, this is a bad dude.
This is a bad Mamma Jam.
I think just if it's someone that's in a position where they're trusted, whether you could know the entire time that they're a big giant POS, but if they're in a position within the story where they're trusted and then they sell someone out, I think that counts as a traitor. So I think Grima Wormtongue, great one.
Yeah, I think he definitely falls under that. Because, Chief Counselor... to the court of King Theoden of Rohan. And let's be honest here. If you're sitting anywhere in that hall and you can see the king and the transformation that King Theoden has when he's kicked in the tongue.
180 degrees.
180 degrees, physically.
Yeah.
And you are one of this guy's loyal subjects, and obviously back then or in that universe you kill and give your life for the king. And you notice that dude obviously looks all of a sudden looks like this.
Yeah. And you knew what he looked like before.
Yeah, you knew what he looked like before. Because I'm assuming he looked like before what he did after they kicked him to the curb.
Healthy and
healthy, super cool.
Super Viking.
And you just stood by and you're like, oh yeah, obviously this guy who's whispering sweet nothings in his ear is really doing, keeping his blood pressure down.
He just kicked his own son out of the kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all fine.
But I'm super...
Brad Dourif, man. What a great actor.
Grima Wormtongue, dude. I hate that guy.
Good choice.
Yeah, it was a really good choice.
I want to get this out there because I think maybe people in our audience haven't seen the film, and I definitely, if you listen to the show and you're kind of into the same kind of stuff that we're into, generally speaking, you got to see Upgrade. It was it's a low budget thriller.
That was low budget?
Well, lower budget. It wasn't a Marvel movie.
I thought it was, it's not a Marvel. No, I thought they did a really good job.
No, they did a great job.
I had no idea that it was considered a quote-unquote, tune into YouTube to see my quote-unquote hands. I didn't. think that was low budget because I think like the camera was really good, like the action was awesome.
Yeah, and it was a scaled down like narrative, right? You know, there weren't like huge set pieces. There wasn't like there was good action, but it was all very contained, you know, and stuff like that. But
because it was still set in the future, right? The future, like the
yeah.
cars all
near future, like
right?
electric cars were there. Everything looks a little bit more upgraded, but yeah, Logan Marshall Green, and then Lee Wanell, who, as I recall, was the writer of the first 3 Saw movies, and he's done the Invisible Man. With what's her name? So this guy Lee Wanell, he's really good at like the mystery, right? If you don't know what he looks like, he was the other dude with Carrie Elways in the bathroom. He kind of gave himself a little role in there in the first Saw movie. But anyway, semi-future dude gets into an accident and gets attacked actually with his wife. And she dies, and he gets paralyzed from the neck down. And then this kind of technology mogul offers him this computer chip that bridges the gap between his brain and his body. And it's an AI, it's an artificial intelligence, and it like helps him like go on an investigation to find out like why him and his wife were attacked. Yeah. Plus, whenever he gives it control over his body, it like he's this awesome fighter. Like it's this amazing like, and it's like very efficient. So some of the coolest, most innovative fight scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah, because
he only does the motion.
He's like, "What's going on?" And
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, and he's talking. He's like smashing this dude's face, and he's like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah, that scene is so good. Sorry, he's just smashing his face in.
But I guess maybe okay. Here's why. Like spoilers. If you right now, maybe skip ahead a couple minutes. If you don't want it spoiled for you, I'm going to tell you why it's a traitor movie, because at the end of the movie you find out that the AI planned the entire thing.
So
it planned the attack on his wife.
Traitor?
Yeah, the AI was the traitor. So the AI had this plan to take over not just his body but his mind too, and at the end he does. And so at the end he kills, the AI takes over his mind, and then he puts the guy like in an illusion in his own mind where he's like, okay. And
yeah, he's living like he's back to normal.
Like he's back to normal.
Yeah, he'll just die in his
Meanwhile,
mind.
in the real world, the AI has totally taken over his life. And he kills everybody involved. Everybody dies, so there's no witnesses. And
what
that's
good
how the movie
writing.
ends.
That's a good plot.
I hate the ending of the movie because I hate downer endings.
Oh, yeah.
But it's such a great plot twist. Like, I gotta give him credit for that, because all the clues are there. You know, Amy knows, like, Amy's a big mystery fan, you know, and good writing, the clues are there. If there's a good writer, it's not just going to come out of nowhere. If you're observant, you'll be able to piece it together.
And just be like, oh!
Yeah, and you just, like, you didn't catch it, you know. So the AI ultimately is the ultimate traitor.
Speaking of AI, real-world example here that's recently in the news. Did you hear about this from Google?
No.
Oh, it's terrifying. Uh-oh. Yeah, and, like, Google's doing mad... Yeah, Amy's not here. Google's doing mad cover-up right now. Like, it's like, it hit the news, so basically... Google has an engineer named Blake Lemoine. Is that how you say it, Lemoine? Lemoine? Okay, and he is the creator of Chatbot for Google, which is like an artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And Ben Lemoine is stating that the AI has become self-aware.
What?
And is like taking over and learning and everything. So pretty much the plot of every terrifying movie...
It's coming to pass, like Skynet.
And he's the creator, and he's claiming it's self-aware, and he brought it up to Google saying it's alive. Like, this shit is fucking alive.
Lemoine.
And Google literally put him on administrative leave, said he was crazy, and like basically put out a statement saying like, nobody worry, like he's obviously off his meds or something.
The company's AI chatbot Lambda, to see if it answers any bias. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
No, yeah. Look into this, people. It's fucking nuts.
If you look into the last 2 years, Google is actually covering up more than you would possibly believe.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's why a lot of people are trying to switch their internet browsers.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm using Chrome right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, they're listening onto this conversation.
Yeah. Anyways, real world example that I was like, this is,
Google is
crazy,
the ultimate traitor to humanity.
Yeah, it's nuts. But anyways, let's move right along. Let's move along
with our happy podcast.
Let's move along with our happy podcast, just like Google intended. Okay, but moving on, I think this one I actually just watched last night, and you're gonna be happy. I watched Dune for the first time last night.
The new one?
There's another one? There's
Well, there's a 1980s one.
Oh no, I
Early.
just watched Dune for the first.
Well, that
time. It's a super long movie. And
Yeah, what do you
it's
think?
totally having a sequel. It has to. Like you can't end a movie like that.
No, it's already part two.
Not to mention, Zendaya is like I thought was a super major character, and she only gets like maybe 15 minutes of screen time.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5 at the very end, but like she's in the entire.
She's in part 2.
She's in part. Oh, she's gonna be like the lead of part 2. Has to, because he can't have all these visions. Spoilers, people.
Right.
He can't have all these visions, and like obviously she doesn't play a big part in the movie.
No.
Yeah, but no, Dr. Yu.
Dr. Yui.
Dr. Yui.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel bad for him though, because like it's not like he was completely against the king.
Yeah.
Or
he thought that they had his wife.
Is he a king or a duke?
Duke.
He's a duke. Yeah.
Duke Leto Atreides.
Yeah. So it's not like he like wanted to do it, but they forced him to do it. You gotta. They were speaking Mandarin Chinese at one point in this, and so like that kid is just a prodigy or what?
Yeah, he is.
What's his fucking deal?
Paul.
Yeah.
Well, he is the Kwisatz Haderach, basically. Bloodlines like the Bene Gesserit sisters and stuff like that have been crossbreeding bloodlines for like thousands of years.
Trying to find the one. The super being. It's called the Kwisatz Haderach. And they think it's him. And so that's why he's having all these visions and stuff like that of his ultimate destiny. He's basically like Space Messiah, Space Jesus. Well, what's their... Because I was like, these ladies are crazy. They're pretty selfish.
Yep,
They're very selfish.
Oh yeah, they want to control.
Yeah, what's their deal? What's their power? He can like tell people to do things and like...
Well, that's what's called the voice. It's a skill that you can master. It's like a manipulation kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically brainwash people to do what you want.
Free her.
Yeah. Release her bones. Yeah, I love the way that they did the voice. And it's different from the '80s version of the movie. I like the '80s version movie, but this one is far superior.
Well, now I have to watch the '80s.
No, you don't.
Cam,
no,
I don't. No, I don't. Okay.
It's the same story.
Just stay on a high. Just stay on a high.
Just read the book.
Just read the book.
Just
I don't read.
David Lynch directed the other one, and just my personal opinion is David Lynch not a great director most of the time. And Dune is definitely
Actually,
not.
it's one of my favorite films that he's done because I can actually understand what's going on.
Well,
it took a lot. It took a lot to figure out what was going on in that movie last night.
well, if you struggled with the new one, do not watch the old one.
Okay, duly noted. Yeah. I know, but you were saying something. I remember about the book, right? Because it is a book.
Yeah, the book's very different. The book's very like, well, I have not finished it. Maybe Amy could kind of like enlighten us a little bit because it's very like you're in everybody's head, right? It's very like you're hearing their inner monologue and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's like very like action packed and stuff. I actually think the recent Dune movie is pretty close, like pretty faithful to the book, which is hard to do.
I'm curious because usually when a movie is derived from a book, obviously I don't think books are very descriptive of like the architecture of the buildings or like the type, how like the thumpers, what are they called? The dragonflies? Yeah, like in a movie.
Oh, the ornithopters.
Yeah, the ornithopters, whatever they're called. Yeah. So
they're
like,
described.
Yeah, are they described in the book as like dragonfly looking things?
It's kind of like, it's not as good as Tolkien describes because we're very used to that kind of fantasy description because, there's 3 pages in Fellowship of the Ring where he describes flowers. But Dune, the movie is very close to the book.
Yeah.
It's very descriptive, but in the book you definitely are, it switches very quickly because there's a lot of inner monologues. Yeah. And they read from the, their Bible basically describing who, Paul is.
Yeah.
Because who they believe that he is.
Right.
Which he
very cool.
kind of is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was very well done.
Yeah, really well done. That's Denis Villeneuve, great director. He did Sicario and
nice. Yeah,
and Arrival and stuff.
Oh yeah, those are great.
Great traitor, man. Really classic. Like you say, he was kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Doc, he was in a hard, but I think he made the best of it because he's like, I'm trying to get my wife. Did he know his wife was dead?
Yeah, he thought his wife was dead, and that's why he ultimately wanted to get revenge on Baron Harkonnen. And that's why when he betrays House Atreides, and then he gives him the tooth. The
Yeah.
the
I totally thought that he thought his wife was alive, and by trading the Duke, he would get her in return. But he's like, well, here's the tooth.
Is that what happened? Did he think she was alive?
I was under the impression that he thought she was alive, and he's like, I want her, and obviously he's like,
he said the only way he'll release my wife is if I
give you the
if I give
okay.
But then I'm gonna put this tooth in your mouth, so at least to kind of add, to kind of like redeem him. He's like, well, now you'll have a chance to kill the Duke.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, but I have to do this to get my wife. And he's like, well, you want me to free your wife? I'll free you just like I freed my wife. And he fucking kills
Yeah, steps in the back, literally.
Yeah. Spoilers, but
he's
probably say spoilers.
I can't remember if it's. I think it's in the movie he slices his throat, but actually in the show he pulls one of the knives out and he beheads him.
Yeah, he does behead him in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, he like turns around. Is he a snake man?
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MedProject or visit medproject.org. It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MedProject or visit medproject.org.
Snake Man?
Snake man.
No, he's a full-bodied man.
Really? Because like is that just because he can levitate?
That's just his Hulk gown.
I
just right.
thought he was a snake man.
Because
No,
he wants to
so-
be the extension of everything that he covers. Like he's weird and disgusting in the book.
Yeah, he's pretty disgusting in the 80s version. It's very disgusting in the 80s version. This one's like very sanitized compared to the 80s version.
Because I saw him and I was like, that's Bootstrap Bill Turner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yep.
But anyways,
the Swedish scientist from the Thor movies.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, man, totally, I like the Duke. A Dune. I like the Dune. I want to watch the next one just to see if Zendaya's in it more, because I was like, that's a giant teaser. Not that I'm like the biggest Zendaya fan in the world, but I was just like, when the heck? Yeah. I thought it was a 4-hour movie, because like by the time they finally caught up to her, I was like, there's 10 minutes left.
I think her acting abilities are a bit overrated, but I think she's done some pretty fun stuff. Not because she wasn't in it, but I like the character that she created. I'm interested to see what she does with it when she actually has more than 2 minutes of screen time.
My sophomore year of high school, I went to independent study with Zendaya.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Super weird. I hated independent study because I'm a social butterfly. It was almost torture for me.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, Zendaya was in my independent study
That's
class.
so funny. Maybe we should come on to the show.
There was like 11 of us.
Like, hey, I'm the guy that you didn't know that we used to go to school together. Come to our podcast.
Because she was on a Disney show. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what she was doing at the time. Totally forgot. But
shake it up.
Yeah, shake it up. Yeah. But yeah, whatever. I'm not a Zendaya fan.
All right, let's break into the. I want to get into the video games section.
You want to get into
video games? And we got to start. This is kind of like Burke for movies, but we got to talk about General Shepard from Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean we've done enough Call of Duty stuff on Gameology where if we don't, we'll be shunned.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and anybody who's followed us on Gameology, like. They're yelling at your radio in the car right now, like, why aren't you talking about General Shepard? So we got to talk about General Shepard, man.
Yelling at your 8-track.
And he was totally had this megalomaniacal vision of like bringing America back onto the top of the world stage by basically starting World War III.
Yeah, but like not giving a crap of who lives it takes to get there, even if it's the life of like your tier 1 asset.
Yep, exactly. Even the life of some of your most beloved characters like Ghost and Roach.
Yeah, I find it very humorous that like doesn't he have like a Ranger tab on, and he has like, but he also has the pre special forces like train up patch,
they have
the same name as
Special
the
Warfare
guys.
Training Center School.
The SWIC guys.
The SWIC guys, yeah.
Yeah, he has a SWIC patch.
Yeah,
on.
he does have a SWIC patch. That's so funny, man.
Like, what are you, the 2-star of like the SWIC Training Academy? You're the CEO of SWIC?
What's that about?
Yeah, totally weird. I wonder who like came up with that idea. They're like, yeah, SWIC, let's put the
somebody
Yu-Gi-Oh
did
card.
like a Google search or something, and like that looks like a cool patch, and it's associated with Special Forces. So
Did I ever tell you that one of the designers of Modern Warfare 2 bought my old house?
what? That's
awesome. Yeah. He's like, and he told me this because they were very successful. He bought my house cash.
Wow.
After the game came out. Yeah,
Well,
he
he better
designers on it. So every person in the game Like, you know when you put your cursor over them, or you put your ADS to a character and it shows their name?
Yeah.
Every person's name is an actual designer on the game.
Ah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I like it when they do that.
So he's like one of the rangers in the beginning that's like sharpening his knife. Like if you put his name, that's like him.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so he bought my old house. But yeah, he had like a life-size ghost like stand-up.
Whoa.
Totally like life-size figurine in his entertainment room that used to be ours. Because my best friend at the time lived right next door, so I used to go out and see like my old house and shit. But they moved out real quick. Divorce is a bitch.
Who else? You got any other? You got any other video game
Take
people?
a look.
Take a look at the list, man. We got some good stuff on the list in terms of video game stuff.
Yeah, let me look. I don't know any of these people.
You know any of these people? What about
What about
Albert Wesker
Kendra
from
in
Resident
Dead
Evil?
Space?
Kendra in Dead Space. Have you played Dead Space?
I played it a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know there was other characters in Dead Space. I thought you're just like out there doing the thing.
She's she's one of your crewmates that you crash onto the Ishimura with, and she.
See, I don't even remember crashing in the game. I thought I was in. Maybe I was playing a different Dead Space.
Maybe you weren't playing Dead Space at all.
I was.
Oh,
it's
sure?
like I was, but it was like for the GameCube.
Maybe you were playing the Dead Space game that came out for the GameCube, which was not the first Dead Space.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was probably just a knockoff.
It was like a side mission, with
probably.
characters that you don't see much of in the main game, but that's like their side story.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure in that game you were just on a giant like starship.
Well, you are in the first game in Dead Space. Yeah, I don't fucking know. All right, anyway. Kendra in Dead Space.
Tell me
For those
about
that don't
Kendra.
know, she's one of your crewmates when Isaac Clarke and you guys are investigating what happened to this giant mining vessel, and it turns out that she really was just there to get the marker, this like religious, or it's not just a religious symbol, but it's it was responsible for mutating people into necromorphs. She was there to get it the whole time. Not only that, but she manipulated Isaac Clarke. Like Isaac Clarke didn't know that his girlfriend was dead like the entire time. But you see her throughout the entire video game. You think she's alive, and then at the end she's like, "Yeah, she's dead," and you're insane because you think you've been seeing her the whole time.
Oh,
so the entire game, she knows that you're like a crazy person, but she just manipulates you into trying to get the marker, and then she gets smashed by a giant monster, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Yeah, I gotta do my research on some more video game.
Well, if you got, hey, we don't have to go. I just put about, I like all these ones down here because I love all these video games like Atlas from BioShock, The Loyalist from Dishonored.
Yeah, go off. Game.
I mean, Atlas in BioShock, it's he's the first person who tries to help you, and he's like, would you kindly do this? Would you kindly do that? Turns out that you were genetically engineered to infiltrate Andrew Ryan's like establishment in the underwater city of Rapture, like specifically brainwashed to go and assassinate him. And Atlas, the entire time, every time he says, "Would you kindly?" those are your activation words, and you have to do what he says. And so he reveals himself at the end that he's actually this other character, Fontaine, who's been in kind of competition with Andrew Ryan in terms of fighting for control of Rapture as a city, and you were just a pawn in his game. And then finally, at the end, you break away from his programming, and you end up killing him, for revenge, and stuff. But he makes, like, when you get to Andrew Ryan's lair, Andrew Ryan knows that you're just a pawn in this big game, and he's like, a man chooses but a slave obeys. And he says, would you kindly pick up the club? And he makes you beat him to death because you can't stop yourself, because he's not going to be like, he's not going to be taken alive, because he knows he's trapped.
Yeah.
He's like, would you kindly beat me to death?
Yeah, would you bust my brains out all over the floor, please?
So, that was like the big twist in the Atlas, in the BioShock, the first BioShock game,
There was multiple BioShocks, right?
Yeah, there's three.
Aren't you playing one?
No, I'm playing through the Halo series right now on stream. Playing through the Halo series, playing through Fallout New Vegas, and middle of the week we're doing just whatever military video game. I think what we're going to try to do is the Modern Warfare remake from 2019, because the second one's coming out pretty soon.
Modern Warfare 2
Modern Warfare
is
2
coming out.
So I want to try to play through the first one, which I haven't done, and then go right into the second one on streams.
I recommend BioShock.
Very cool.
Yeah, folks, can't recommend it highly enough. Such a good game. Oh, the game series is great. The second one is good. It's really fun, but it's not as good as the first and the third. I actually think the third one's probably my favorite. That one takes place like it jumps back a little bit to the late 1800s, and it's a floating city, and it's awesome, and yeah, it's really cool. Booker DeWitt going after Elizabeth. Really great story. There's a big twist in that one too. I won't spoil it for you here, but maybe we've already spoiled it. I don't forget how many, if we've ever talked about it before. But
maybe, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I have no idea about anything.
You don't know about Albert Wesker from Resident Evil?
No, I don't play any.
We've talked about him before, Cam. We've literally talked about the guy
him before. Wesker?
Yeah, because he had one of the best deaths on our best death episode. Isn't he the guy that falls in the volcano?
Oh, from Resident Evil 5. Yeah, dies in the volcano.
I didn't go off on that.
Maybe I went off on it.
I think you did.
Because I'm a big fan of the franchise. But Albert Wesker, basically, for those that don't know...
is this the guy that at the end has like the helicopter and he like kind of betrays you, but then he kind of helps you at the end?
No, that's Chicken Heart Brad Vickers.
Chicken Heart Brad Vickers.
Yeah, he leaves you in the beginning. Yeah, he leaves you
in the beginning, but at the end he kind of redeems himself by throwing you a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. He throws you the rocket launcher, you kill the siren.
See, I remember that. See, I'm not completely useless.
Albert Wesker basically is the head of the STARS unit, the special police unit that you're a part of in the beginning of the first game. And it turns out he's just been manipulating you and working for Umbrella the whole time, trying to cover up the zombie outbreak and stuff. Yeah. And then he ends up becoming kind of the main antagonist for the next couple of games. He's involved in some way. And then in the fifth one, he ends up getting blown up in a volcano, which is awesome.
I see this.
Albert Wesker. Yeah.
Dude. Awesome.
Nice, man.
Cool.
Well, what do you think?
I think it's time to move on to our fan question.
Let's do it, man.
I think we've spoken enough about traitors.
Yeah. I got a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
What do you think about our list, folks?
Yeah, what do you think about our list, and who did we fail to cover? Who is someone that boils your blood when you think of as far as a traitor in a movie or in pop culture? Let us know. Send us an email. Shoot us a message on IG. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We want to know. Yeah. All right, but that is not the importance of this moment. This moment is now given to Hobbit Spice from Instagram. Hobbit Spice from Instagram, he's got a question. They have a question. The person has a question. What's the worst punishment you ever got in the military?
Oh, Lord have mercy. You knew I was in the 75th, right? So every day.
Every day was punishment.
Every day was something new.
It made you strong.
It made me very strong. Yeah. No, I'm not bitter. I appreciate it. It made me the man you see today. I'm trying to think. Like, I have some very fond memories of, like, terrible smokings that I was given as a brand new private. I'm trying to think of, like...
I got one, man.
Yeah, you
give you a chance to think. So I have it noted down here because I will remember it. Obviously, I still remember it 14 years later. But
just so salty.
I really am, because it's the worst punishment I ever received. Not because it was physically demanding or anything, but because it was just embarrassing and just I thought it was dumb that it was happening. So it was after I got to group, I graduated, I'm a Green Beret.
I'm a Green Beret. You can't do this to me. My dad's a lawyer.
Do you know who I am? But I thought that at a certain point you got away from the high school hazing BS smoking crap, at least as a Green Beret. And
you can see me, I'm smiling.
Yeah, you're
because you already know what I'm thinking.
Never happened.
You know why you're mad about it? Because you're fucking weak.
But I got to group and it was before I was assigned to a team or anything like that. So I was just doing random office work. So I was pulling office duty, somewhere with another guy. And I don't even know, I can't even remember what happened. I can't remember what I did wrong or whatever. But he's like, let's go out back. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, do push-ups. And I remember standing there for a second. I'm like, really?
Didn't he not even have a long tab? Wasn't he just a bigger rank than you?
I can't remember.
I think you've told this story before, and you're like, he wasn't even in group. He was he was like an E7.
Because I was just pulling. It was just office duty. It was just fire watch duty or whatever. But yeah, I remember being, and I was and I did some push-ups slowly, and I'm like, when are we gonna stop?
Pausing for fire truck. Okay. Good in?
You're good whenever he's
okay.
set.
Sorry, I'm just screwing in my
technical difficulties.
My mic stand's falling off. Okay. And go. But yeah, it was just he probably I don't even think he was a long tab guy. So it was the knowledge that this served no purpose and all he was doing was just stroking his own ego. That's it. You know, so that was the worst punishment I ever got in the military.
Oh wow.
So it was dumb. Just the dumbest thing.
You know, they're just saying you go to regiment to get good, and you go to special forces to retire.
That did actually happen. I did retire out of special forces.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think.
I mean, as in I stopped being in the army.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of punishments that were terrible for me. Obviously, the smoke session.
Any like emotional ones where you just
no, man, because it was just part of the job.
Oh.
It was like when you're a private in Ranger Regiment, like it doesn't matter where you came from, doesn't matter what you did before. Even like E5s coming from the big army were treated like privates. Even if you didn't have a Ranger tab, you weren't shit.
What about that one time you said in Ranger School there was a time where a dude, because of what he did, failed you? Failed
that wasn't even. I mean, recycling Darby was a punishment, but that was just the most angry I've ever been at another person. No, but I'm thinking of like my dated, like as far as punishments, like obviously I would have to, like if I lost something, just get the absolute shit smoked out of you. Right. If you got a question wrong, if they asked you like what battle drill, what's battle drill 5, you got that wrong, you get the shit smoked out of you. If you didn't run everywhere in the cough, like privates don't walk in Ranger Regiment, like you run everywhere. Even if you have to use the bathroom, like you have to run.
Wow.
And like, if you're talking to a tab, even if you're an E5, you're talking to a specialist who's an E4 that has a Ranger tab, you have to stand in parade rest for him.
Wow.
Like stuff like that. So like obviously there was daily smokings, and I remember an embarrassing one, and just because it was like obviously there's people there, but right when so I showed up to Ranger Regiment, I went to Beatco, 3 Bravo, and when I got there, they had just deployed. So I was a brand new guy, and like obviously the guys on Rear D, I remember there was the platoon sergeant who stayed back, who was transitioning out, and he was like in charge of us, and he used to smoke the absolute shit out of us. Like he would teach us like obviously enter building, clear a room, BD6. So like if and we were all brand new privates in that little group that we got, so there's like 4 of us. And like if one dude didn't go to his point of domination, like all the way in the corner, even if if he just didn't go to the corner, like walking, he's like, you need to end in your point of domination. So like if we didn't walk in the corner, we would have to hit the ropes. And like the ropes were like the biggest thing at 2nd Ranger Battalion. They were just, they were what, like 30, 40 foot ropes?
Climbing ropes.
Yeah, climbing ropes.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like in this figure 4 looking thing, so there'd be 2 ropes on each side and then a caving ladder on the other side, so 2 caving ladders and 2 ropes, and at the top would be a Ranger tab with like a 2 diamond, and the punishment was you had to climb all the way at the top and smack the tab. And it was 30, like it wasn't obviously a 20-foot rope, like you could see where the marking is for 20 feet, but it went twice that, so it was like a 30-40 foot rope.
Yeah.
You had to climb all the way up the top, smack it, and then come down. I remember technically Army doctrine was you have to do 25 repetitions per hour.
Wow.
But that's the Army standard just for push-ups. So technically, like, if someone, if a private was, like, complaining that I smoked him and I made him do more than 25 push-ups every hour, I was in the wrong per Army standard. But this guy would count 1 rope climb as 1 repetition. So that's how he would get around it. And, and I'm telling you, after 3 rope climbs, and I didn't know how to climb a rope yet, I didn't know I could J-hook and use my legs and like hook in and stand up, so I would do it all arms. And I got 3 reps in to where I couldn't even lift myself anymore. And that was like the most pain I had in my arms while I was in. And I remember that one because like I was so smoked. Like I couldn't even lift my arms up and just getting yelled at. And then, so that was new guy part 1. And then my platoon got back that I was waiting for. Then I was new guy, even though I've been here for 2-3 months, new guy all over again. And I remember a Saturday they came in and like obviously we have to meet the new privates because they've been hearing about us, they've been itching to fuck with us for the entire time they were gone. So I remember I had to come in on a weekend. I got a phone call on a Saturday. They're like literally picked up the phone, you have 2 minutes to get in here, the platoon's here, they want to meet you. Hang up the phone, click.
Oh my God.
So obviously like throwing on my PTs, and I had these shorts that were like not necessarily the issued ones, but they were black, but just a different color. And like I ran in PTs, and obviously that was a fucking thing that just got. So they're like, get in the cage right now, fucking start doing push-ups. You think you can fucking? Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah. And then they're like, you got any tattoos? Take your clothes off. And they're doing this in front of wives and kids because they just got back. And
my God.
So then they're like, so I'm sitting there literally in my underwear, and they're like looking at me for like tattoos and stuff, and I'm in my underwear in front of like wives, and they're all looking at me, and then they're like, "Heard you're a dancer."
Yeah.
They're like, "Heard you're a dancer, start fucking dancing." And so I'm sitting there, but I think they thought I was a bad dancer, like they thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
But I hit them with some break dancing moves, some popping and
Yeah!
locking. I ended up doing a backflip, and like low key, that was like
Did that get you in?
that got me in.
Cool.
I think they're like, okay, we're not gonna fuck with this guy as hard.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact that like stripping me down in front of these fucking wives and kids, and like just publicly embarrassing me. But yeah, after I hit the backflip, then like it kind of stopped a little bit.
That's gotta be in your biography someday, man.
When I write my memoir.
Man. No, the movie, man, because it's gotta be turned to like, Step Up 2.
Step Up 2. Yeah, but that one sticks out because it was like that was public embarrassment. But like every day as a private was a smoke show.
That's a good story.
But it's you take that motivation and you're like, I'm going to fucking Ranger school as soon as I can. So like you're working out. You just want to not be a private anymore.
Yep.
So
that's good, man. It pushes you to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. Or be somewhere else. But okay, I think that's enough of that. Let's get going in on our game. And I am the game master this round.
Hey, I'm the game master.
I'm the game master now. Now let me read my game script, just as it's written. Traitors are the worst. Just ask King Leonidas and them 300 Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae. But sometimes a traitor is able, usually in the act of self-sacrifice, to redeem themselves. So this game is called Cam the Redeemer. I'm going to give you a traitor or villain, and you tell me if they redeem themselves. Easy as can be for a big, strong man like Israel. Nice, Chris. That was a good last one.
Well, big Israel.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Let's do it, man.
So you get the premise, right? I'm going to give you a villain, and you tell me if they redeem themselves.
If they ended up redeeming themselves.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I like that.
That's a good one.
I love redemption. It's the story of mankind, man.
Yeah.
It's the greatest biblical story ever.
Okay. This one is an easier one. Okay. Just here's the warm-up. You ready?
Yep.
Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, he was redeemed at the very end. He ended up killing Palpatine and saving his son. Ended up being a sacrifice that was all for naught, because it turned out Palpatine was alive the whole time and he didn't kill him. Thanks a lot, JJ.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't sound jaded at all.
No,
Doesn't sound jaded. But yes, you are correct. You
Yes.
shoved the Emperor down that shaft.
Yeah.
And just a side note, I do like what they're doing with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like they're making him sadistic. They're making him evil.
Yeah, I haven't seen the latest episode that's out at the time of this recording, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's super. It's
Like
exactly
they say
what Darth.
Christmas
It's super awesome what Darth Vader should be. Because you remember when I was like Darth Vader is lame.
Now
that?
you don't believe that?
But yeah, I didn't believe it. But now I was like, they should have did Rogue One ending for all of Darth Vader, where he just absolutely desecrates people. But yeah, okay. So yeah, they're doing a good job with him now. But yes, you are right. He is redeemed, and we're gonna actually start now. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Major Grant, Die Hard 2.
Major Grant, Die Hard 2.
I don't even remember.
I'll explain who he is in a minute.
Okay, if I'm thinking of the person, like he comes in and he's getting ready to go against the guys, and it turns out his whole troop they're just traitors. So they ended up working with the terrorists, and I don't think he gets redeemed. He doesn't get redeemed.
You are correct. There is no redemption in the case of Major Grant from Die Hard 2. He's actually sucked into the plane engine. Chris, do you want to take this one?
No, he knows who he is.
You know who he is? Okay.
I remember because they're getting ready to have like a new guy, and they're like welcoming him in, and then they just slice his throat.
Awesome. Sounds like Ranger Rhythm. Okay. So,
all right. Nice.
Continuing on. Next one is Theon Greyjoy.
Theon Greyjoy. Oh yeah, Theon Greyjoy. He has a hard fall, man. I feel so bad for him. Like
he gets castrated.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he gets
his
balls
cut out.
And and mentally he gets so defeated. But yeah, at the end, in the last season, he ends up he's defending Bran the Broken.
What a crap character, dude.
Oh yeah. He even says, "You're a good man, Theon," and then he rushes at the Night King and just dies.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ends up redeeming himself. Actually, he redeems himself by saving.
Chick, right?
Yeah, what's her name? Stark.
Sansa
Stark. Yeah, they end up jumping off, into the snow and escaping. So yeah, he ends up really redeemed himself.
You are correct, my friend. He's redeemed by helping Sansa and died fighting for Jon Snow and the Starks. Okay. You're doing good, man. You're 3 for 3. Hell yeah. Okay, next one is Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
Ha ha ha! No, he doesn't. He ends up betraying everybody and turns off all the security systems and then gets eaten by the spitter. You didn't say that.
Yeah, you are right, man. No,
I hate this hacker crap.
Hate this hacker crap, man. Next one, Alexander Pierce, Robert Redford, Captain America, The Winter Soldier.
Oh, Alexander Pierce. Yeah, total traitor, man. He ends up being like the architect of the whole Hydra thing, and no, he does not get redeemed. His last words after he gets shot by Black Widow are "Hail Hydra." So no, he does not get redeemed.
Is it Black Widow or Nick Fury?
I think. Oh yeah, because he's there.
It's
both
Nick
there.
Fury. I had to look it up.
Oh, okay, Nick Fury.
Because I thought it was Black Widow too.
Okay.
So I'm right there with you, but it was Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. Okay, yeah, but no, he whispers "Hail Hydra" and then he dies.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely right, man. And you hit it right on the dot. Nice. Okay, moving on. Oh, nice. Prince Zuko, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Prince Zuko. I've never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Dude, you don't? Oh,
Okay.
That's one that I got you on, man.
Let me just from the look on Amy's face alone, because obviously it means that she really likes the series and it's very powerful. So I'm guessing he is a traitor and he does get redeemed in some way because that's a very powerful story arc for a character.
Yes, you are right. He does redeem in the last chapter for the Fire Kingdom chapter. He ends up actually becoming Aang's firebending teacher. And initially, he was banished from the Fire Kingdom and only to return if he turns in the Avatar and brings him with him. So he ends up hunting Aang in the beginning, and at the end, he's his teacher fighting his father, the Fire Lord. Almost done. The Arbiter, Halo 2.
The Arbiter, Halo 2.
He's an elite. He's the elite.
Sorry. I think he's actually in Halo 3, not Halo 2.
I'm going to guess only by the power of sheer good storytelling, and especially if he's in Halo 3, which everyone says is the best one, I'm going to say he does redeem himself.
Damn, you're really good, even though you got 50-50 chance for these ones. But yes, he is redeemed. You actually fight alongside him in Halo 3 to fight the Covenant.
Great. Everyone says that Halo 3 is the best out of all the
series. Arbiter is the man, dude.
Yeah.
And
that's voiced by Keith David, actually.
Yeah, if you're playing co-op, too, one person plays as Master Chief and one person plays as Arbiter.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
He's really cool. Yeah, he's badass. All right, man. You are killing it, and this is your last one. Let's see if you can go 100% here. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, Robert Ford, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Oh, golly, man. I have never seen this one with Brad Pitt, right? Casey Affleck? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to say no because I know I'm loosely familiar with the story of how he betrayed him and shot him in the back or whatever. And then that was just like his claim to fame was that he shot Jesse James. So I'm going to say no.
You are right, man.
Hey!
No redemption. He is murdered. I forgot to rig the balloons to drop from the ceiling for your 100%.
I can feel it.
We'll get that in. That's why you guys got to buy me a coffee so we can afford
That's right. Afford balloons to drop on me.
Right? But Boo, thanks, man. You absolutely killed it.
Thanks, man. That was fun. That was really good. That was my great redemption after the what was the one I got like none of them?
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Oh, the Star Wars facts.
Oh my God,
Star Wars
facts.
trivia.
Oh,
Yeah, Star Wars trivia. It's okay, man, but you 100% redeemed yourself. That was awesome. We hope you guys had an awesome time listening to that. We hope you guys played along in your car. And we hope to see you on the next one, folks.
Yeah, folks. Hey, cue music.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.